Hi, my name is Gary Gimbert, VP of Stewardship for Natural Lands. I've been working with Natural Lands since 1996. Talking to you today about some of our tree plantings we've been doing. Actually, 2025, we're going to be doing about a little over 75 acres, and that is kind of the largest we've done in our history in 1 year. Multiple goals with tree plantings. One is we want to reduce edge and create interior forest habitat that benefits, for example, warblers, thrushes, scarlet tanagers. They're the migratory ones. And then you have barred owls, saw-whet owls. They stick around all year, so they're resident year round. So that's the one reason. And then, let's face it, with climate change, there's nothing wrong with planting a tree. We're storing carbon, we're helping cool things down, improving water resources, help mitigate flooding. That all mixes up to make why we do what we do. The large ones are primarily Chester County, Bucks County this year. So we've done 36 acres at our Peacedale Preserve. We'll be doing approximately 20 acres at Salisbury Woods, just shy of 10 acres at Stroud, and 10 acres at Diabase in Bucks County. But we are doing smaller plantings of only a couple hundred throughout the preserve system. For the most part, these were all farm fields, whether they were in hay or row crops. Usually when we look at a property and talk about tree planting, we're looking to see where we can connect larger tracts of woodlands in between to reduce that edge. For example, at Peacedale, the areas we planted had about a little over 9,000 linear feet of edge. With this planting, we're going to be reducing that to a little over 4,000 feet of edge, so a little over 50%. We do a mix of deciduous hardwoods. We'll throw in some conifers, usually white pine, maybe some cedars, although the cedars kind of volunteer themselves a lot of times around here. It's your white oaks, various maples, sycamores, birches. It's just generally, those native species that would normally occur here, giving them a head start. It would take us a month to plant 36 acres. So we've been working with contractors where they can come in, and if I remember correctly, it was like a week and a half to plant the 36 acres at Peacedale this year. So they come in, they lay it out all in rows for us, and that goes to our future maintenance. The reason we put them in rows, it doesn't look the greatest, but we like to mow in between the trees to keep invasives down and give them that edge on invasive species so that they get up out of the tubes and we can let it go to forest, but that usually takes at least 10 years depending on the species. Oaks grow a little bit slower than poplar. The tubes mainly are there for protection from white-tailed deer. If we plant them without any protection, it just becomes a buffet for the deer, and you'll lose the majority, if not all, of your planting. So it acts as protection from the deer, but it also has a bit of a greenhouse effect to it, which helps them get up and out of those tubes a little bit faster. You come back 15 years later, the tubes are gone, you just see woods. Now, if you're in there, you can still make out the lines, but eventually some trees are gonna outcompete each other, some are gonna die, we replant. We're also gonna try, and that's one of the things we're doing at Salisbury Woods, is we're going into a previous tree planting that was done years ago, and we're gonna try and throw in some understory trees and shrubs and cage those individually from the deer to see how we can recreate a more natural looking forest, something that would have occurred naturally. To maintain, we mow in between every year, and then we do spray some herbicide around the base of the tree to kill off the sod competition, again, helping the tree get up out of that tube and to a point where we can be more hands-off. We keep maintaining it like that till the trees, I say usually between 7 to 10 years. Once the trees are big enough that the branches are whacking you in the face when you're on the tractor mowing, that's time to let it go, and they can start shading out that grass competition all by themselves. It's anecdotal, but we figure we're in the 70-75% range of survival. And that's just based on, we go out, we take a look, you see what's growing, what's alive, and we figure about 70-75% survival rate. I prefer fall plantings. I think you get better survival rates that way, but there are times due to when the funding comes in or when the contractor's available that we may have to push that to a spring planting. If we do spring, I like to do it as early as possible. But again, sometimes we cannot control that due to contractor schedules, or we've planted things a lot later in the year than I would like, but that's when we were given the funding and it had to be done in so many days, so that's we work around it. Fall plantings give the trees that whole winter, even though they're not putting on as much growth as you would see during the summer, there is some root growth going on then. So it just allows them to get their roots down, be able to bring up water, nutrients better for when the growing season does hit. With large-scale tree plantings, we've been bringing in the contractors, so we haven't had much need for the planting end of things for volunteers, but the ongoing maintenance, volunteers are going to play a crucial role in that. Usually preserves do smaller plantings every year. It may only be 500 or 600 trees. We'd love folks to come out, give us a hand. You can go to natlands.org and find out more. These larger tree plantings have been made possible by our partners and of course members of Natural Lands. So I'd like to take time to thank everyone to help make this possible.